The world of cultivating immortals is so dangerous. How can we do without billions of trumps? Forced to participate in the sect competition, with over a dozen high-level defense talismans and protective bodies. Everyone. You can only rely on external waste and limit the carrying of talismans. What do you do? Qingxue drew symbols on sight. Everyone. Master Fu, can you sell us 2 talismans? Opponent. That person only knows how to draw defense symbols and doesn't pose a threat. Qingxue's second-level defense talisman erupted and the sound of an explosion sounded. Opponents. Do you call this a defensive talisman? Opponent. The talisman is as fragile as a mortal when not using talismans, and can launch surprise attacks. The sharp dagger pierced Qingxue's body, leaving her skin intact. Villain. You are a talisman, your physical body is stronger than martial arts cultivation. What's going on? No CP, the female lead's words are tough and all-powerful, all enemies. Keywords of the novel. Female show she only has 1 billion points of bottom cards without pop-ups, female show she only has 1 billion points of bottom cards, complete download of TXT, female show she only has 1 billion points of bottom cards, latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Shallow Cultivation of Disciples. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Shallow Cultivation of Disciples. What is the world of cultivating immortals? Don't think that carrying the word immortal means a fairy-like atmosphere floating in the fairyland of the human world. Don't forget that there is also the word xiao, which means that the people here are not immortals, they just want to become ordinary people of immortals. In order to become immortals, these people can resort to any means and do everything to the extreme. Qingxue trembled with fear when she thought of the key words in the storybook, such as deceit and deceit, murder and treasure hunting, seizing opportunities, soul pumping and soul refining, and blood sacrifice for living people. The cultivation world is too dangerous, she wants to silently cultivate in the sect. In the cave with multiple protective arrays set up, Qingxue was placed in the distance, and the sound-transmitting jade talisman with a protective cover flickered with a faint light. Qingxue lightly flicked her fingers and a little spiritual power shot into the transliteration jade talisman. Master Qingfeng's gentle and jade-like voice came out. Junior sister, Master has asked all disciples to gather at the heavenly Shu Hall. Come over now. Qingxue looked at the time on the Chuanin jade talisman, and it was already the beginning of the month. At the beginning of each month, the master will check the progress of the disciples' cultivation to prevent their laziness. The cabinet against the wall rotated, revealing a small secret room. A girl just like Qingxue came out of the secret room. The girl waved to Qingxue who was sitting on the futon, and the original Qingxue disappeared into white light. The girl in the secret room is the real Qingxue, and the one in the cave is the clone of Qingxue. The world of cultivating immortals is so dangerous. What if someone takes advantage of their own cultivation to harm themselves? Of course, I have to hide it. Qingxue habitually scanned the situation outside the cave with her divine sense and only left after confirming that there was no ambush outside. Although there is not much danger in the sect, what if someone sneaks in? Be cautious and there will always be no mistakes. Tianshu Hall. A white-bearded old man with crane hair and a childlike appearance and a fairy-like demeanor sat on the main seat. This old man is Changshou, the master of Qingxue and a great cultivator in the later stage of yuanying. There is a man and a woman standing below the main hall, who are the senior brothers and sisters of Qingxue. Master brother Qingfeng, handsome and elegant, with a graceful demeanor, looked at Qingxue who had just arrived with a refreshing smile on his face. Second senior sister Qingjing is a cold and beautiful woman with a temperament of not getting close to strangers, but there is a slight warmth in her gaze towards Qingxue. Qingxue walked into the main hall and obediently bowed to her master, saying, "I pay my respects to my master." Lu Qingxue waved his hand slightly, gesturing for Lu Qingxue to wave the gift. Lu Qingxue stood quietly beside her senior brothers and sisters. Young Qinglu hurriedly ran in after Lu Qingxue, greeted his master with a carefree expression, and then stood next to Lu Qingxue. Lu Qingxue looked at everyone and waved the dust in his hand. In the center of the main hall, a semi-spherical transparent light shield appeared. Old San and Old Si went in to compete. Lu Qingxue is the smallest, ranking 4th, and Yang Qinglu is 3rd. Upon hearing that she was going to spar with Yang Qinglu, Lu Qingxue whispered, "Master, 3rd senior brother has already built a foundation. I will still practice qi. Would it be inappropriate for 3rd senior brother to spar with me?" Lu Qingxue raised his white eyebrows lightly and glanced at Lu Qingxue in a tone that was not quite right. "We have been practicing in the same sect until we reached the point. What are you afraid of? Will your 3rd senior brother attack you harshly? A cultivator competes with heaven for his life, and you are so timid. How can you step onto the main road? Besides, don't think that as a teacher, you cannot see that your 9 forgings of the golden body has already been forged twice. You can fight the foundation building cultivator just by relying on your physical strength." Lu Qingxue saw that her master was unhappy and didn't dare to say more. She obediently walked into the barrier. Lu Qingxue looked at Lu Qingxue's obedient appearance and sighed. The 4 disciples seemed to be the most obedient and headache-inducing. After entering the barrier, Lu Qingxue looked at Yang Qinglu on the opposite side and said weakly, "Senior brother, you know me. I'm not good at fighting, you have to be merciful." Yang Qinglu held a spirit sword and said boldly, "Don't worry, senior brother, I won't take heavy action." Yang Qinglu put on a defensive posture and said, "Junior sister, you can attack first." Lu Qingxue also took out her spiritual sword. When she heard Yang Qinglu asking her to attack first, she didn't hesitate, nodded, and charged over with her sword. Yang Qinglu defended and blocked. The collision of the spirit sword made a clanging sound. The 2 of them came and went, attacking and defending each other. They played lively and showcased all the sword techniques they had practiced recently, letting the master know that they were not slacking off. Yang Qinglu looked relaxed. He only used 30% of his strength, and there was no challenge in sparring with his junior sister. Yang Qinglu felt that his competition with his junior sister should not be called sparring, but rather guidance. He is so much stronger than his junior sister, and if we truly engage in sparring, her junior sister will definitely not be able to catch a single move and showcase her recent cultivation achievements. Yang Qinglu felt that he was truly a good senior brother who understood people's feelings. He showed mercy and gave his junior sister a chance to show off. Lu Qingxue didn't know that Yang Qinglu only used 30% of her strength. She thought that since she was in the qi cultivation period and 3rd senior brother was in the foundation building period, even if 3rd senior brother showed mercy, she should have fought very hard. Lu Qingxue pursed her lips and swung her sword vigorously, showing a determined and difficult battle. Lu Qingfeng looked at the flashy swordsmanship of his junior brothers and sisters, and shook his head repeatedly when he saw Yang Qinglu. Flashy but not practical, boasting and showing off his skills. When watching Lu Qingxue, she nodded and praised. "Junior sister, she is so smart, so hardworking, and has learned so many new sword moves." Chen Qingjing looked at Lu Qingxue's hard work and gave Yang Qinglu a beautiful glare. "Junior brother is really good, he doesn't even know how to give way to junior sister." As Lu Qingxue watched the 2 disciples sparring like performers, he looked helpless. "I wanted your siblings to love each other, but I didn't want you to love each other during our sparring. What's the point of such a humble and friendly sparring?" Lu Qingxue sighed and said, "Enough, stop." Without waiting for Lu Qingxue and Yang Qinglu to stop, Lu Qingxue waved the dust in his hand and withdrew the protective barrier that had just been set up. Lu Qingxue feels that setting a barrier is unnecessary. What are the after effects of such a gentle fight? Lu Qingxue and Yang Qinglu withdrew their swords and stopped fighting. Yang Qinglu had a proud expression on his face, waiting for praise. Lu Qingxue remained obedient as always, standing quietly behind her senior brothers and sisters. Lu Changshou. Are you ready for the sect competition this time? Yang Qinglu put away his pride on his face and said seriously, Master, my disciple has just built a foundation. I don't think the results of this sect competition will be too good. I hope Master can understand. The sect competition is held every 3 years, mainly for the disciples during the Qi cultivation and foundation building periods. The top 100 will receive sect rewards. The Bai only looks at the big realm, not the small realm. Yang Qinglu has just built the foundation, which is the early stage of foundation construction. If he encounters opponents in the middle or later stages of foundation construction, he will definitely suffer. Yang Qinglu was destined not to win a good ranking in this big competition. Lu Changshou looked at Lu Qingxue and said, Fourth, what about you? Lu Qingxue cautiously replied, Master, my disciple's cultivation is shallow. Let's participate again next time. Lu Changshou's face darkened and he said, You are currently at the peak of your Qi training. The competition for participating in the Qi training period is just right. Why wait for the next time? Off topic. The female lead is set at the age of 16, without a correct understanding of the cultivation world. She is initially hesitant, but will gradually grow in the later stages. The style of writing is anime, with some exaggerated descriptions. In novels and anime, the female lead type is Go Dao Lu. If you like this setting, you can fall into the trap. If you don't like it, you can read inspirational articles. The new book is on the shelves, and I hope everyone can support me. End of this chapter. Chapter 2. Only able to participate in large-scale competitions. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Only able to participate in large-scale competitions. Lu Qingxue thought to herself, why wait until next time? Of course, it's because I don't want to compete at all. The spirit sword has no eyes. What if it encounters a ruthless person and kills itself? Of course, these words can only be thought of in my heart. I definitely can't go back to my master like this. Lu Qingxue found a reason. I am about to build a foundation and I am worried that I will get injured in the competition, which will affect my cultivation progress. For cultivators, while fighting is important, the most important thing is still their cultivation level. It is worth giving up a sect competition in order to build a solid foundation. That's what you said 6 years ago, Lu Changshou said in an unfriendly tone. The later stage of Qi cultivation is more suitable for participating in sect competitions. 6 years ago, at the age of 10, Lu Qingxue entered the later stage of Qi cultivation. Lu Changshou suggested that Lu Qingxue participate in the sect competition, but Lu Qingxue refused on the grounds that she was about to build a foundation soon. At that time, Lu Qingxue was still young, and Lu Changshou was not forced. But it has been 6 years, and Lu Qingxue still has this reason. Lu Qingxue started practicing at the age of 6 and entered the later stage of Qi cultivation at the age of 10. Her innate talent is rare for 1,000 years. Lu Changshou once had high hopes for Lu Qingxue, believing that her future achievements would be the highest among several disciples, and her cultivation was likely to surpass hers. However, Lu Qingxue entered the late stage of Qi cultivation at the age of 10, and now she is at the peak of Qi cultivation at the age of 16. In 6 years, the cultivation level only increased by a small level, which can be considered almost stagnant compared to the previous 4 years of cultivation progress. This cultivation speed is normal for others, but it is abnormal for Lu Qingxue. Lu Changshou suspected that Lu Qingxue was lazy and was very diligent in her school exams. It's strange that Lu Qingxue has been making progress, but the progress is getting smaller and smaller. Lu Changshou has never played Pingxi Shi before. If he has played it before, he knows that Lu Qingxue's routine is the same as Pingxi Shi, which is to seek the limit. Lu Qingxue explained, Master, this time it's really fast. I feel like my spiritual power is full and I can build a foundation at any time. Lu Changshou squinted at Lu Qingxue and said, Okay, if you can successfully build a foundation before the competition, you don't need to participate in the competition. Lu Qingxue looked puzzled and said, the Bai only has 1 month left. 6 years ago, Lu Qingxue started wolves, and of course, Lu Changshou will not be fooled by her again. Since the Bai couldn't build a foundation before, then participate in the competition and give Tian Shu Peak a good ranking. Lu Changshou spoke in a calm tone, but Lu Qingxue couldn't refuse. Lu Qingxue had no choice but to agree, I understand now. Lu Changshou looked at Lu Qingxue's reluctant expression, worried that she would be negligent in her work. He added, You are the peak of Qi cultivation and my own disciple. If you cannot enter the top 3, your cultivation resources will be halved in the future. When Lu Qingxue heard that she wanted to reduce her cultivation resources, she immediately became anxious and whispered, Master, the sect is hiding tigers and dragons. The first 3 are too difficult, how about the first 10? Lu Changshou said solemnly, Tianshu Peak is the top of the 7 peaks of Xiantian sect. As a disciple of Tianshu Peak, you cannot reach the top 3 when practicing Qi. How do you make others think of Tianshu Peak? How do you think of being a teacher? Lu Qingxue dared not say more and respectfully said, I understand. I will work hard. After discussing the matter of the sect competition, Lu Changshou looked at the other disciples and said, Is there any problem with cultivation? A few disciples shook their heads. Lu Changshou waved his hand and said, Then let's disperse. Lu Qingxue and Yang Qinglu left the Tianshu Hall, while Lu Qingfeng and Chen Qingjing stayed behind. What do you two have to do? Asked Lu Changshou. Lu Qingfeng said, Master, my junior sister is not good at competition and has no practical experience. Is it a bit difficult to ask her to enter the top 3? Lu Changshou didn't care and said, During the Qi cultivation period, Bai Dou is just that. She has many talismans and is at the peak of Qi cultivation. With the top-grade spirit sword I gave, she can even enter the top 3 with her eyes closed. Upon careful consideration, Lu Qingfeng didn't say much. Lu Qingxue returned to her cave and began to struggle. Do you want to build the foundation now? Lu Qingxue has been able to build a foundation for a long time, but due to the rules of her sect, she has been suppressing her cultivation. Xiantian sect has a rule that disciples must go out to experience after building the foundation. The cultivation world is so dangerous, how could Lu Qingxue be willing to go out? In order not to go out, Lu Qingxue has been suppressing her cultivation without building a foundation. Lu Qingxue not only doesn't want to go out for training, but also refuses all forms of fighting. Except for the monthly school exams and competitions that cannot be avoided, Lu Qingxue never engages in physical altercations with others. In fact, the sparring between Lu Qingxue and Yang Qinglu can only be considered as a set-move game, not a hands-on game. Therefore, Lu Qingxue really hasn't played with anyone. Often walking by the river, where can one not get their shoes wet? If you walk on the night road too much, you will always encounter ghosts. Those who drown are those who can swim. Frequent physical fights are bound to result in injuries and losses. In case of fierce criticism, one may even lose their life. Combat experience is indeed important, but in the process of accumulating combat experience, how many people have died, and who has counted them? Master always keeps his word, as long as he successfully builds the foundation, he doesn't need to participate in the sect competition. However, after avoiding the sect competition, one cannot avoid going out for training. Choose the lighter of the 2 harms. Although there is danger in the sect, overall the danger is not significant. Her master is the leader of the Tianshu Peak, and there are not many people who dare to attack her harshly. And when she left the sect, the cultivators outside didn't care who she was, and if she was beaten to death, she would also die. After weighing for a while, Qingxue finally decided not to build a foundation and participate in the sect competition. To participate, one must enter the top 3, otherwise there will be fewer cultivation resources. The decrease in cultivation resources slows down the speed at which she becomes stronger. Qingxue is hesitant because she wants to live, and she also becomes stronger for the sake of living. These two are not in conflict. Although Qingxue has not built a foundation for her cultivation in the past 6 years, it does not mean that she has not become stronger. Qingxue diligently practiced the 9 forgings of the golden body technique, which has now been forged twice. Her body strength is comparable to that of a top-grade spiritual weapon, and ordinary foundation building cultivators cannot break through her defense. Of course, someone as cautious as Qingxue would not test her physical strength with other people's attacks. So, to participate in the competition, you need to make some preparations. Qingxue took out talisman paper and cinnabar and began drawing talismans. In order to prevent injury in the sect competition, Qingxue mostly drew defensive symbols. In the blink of an eye, a month has passed. Qingfeng arrived at Qingxue's cave and said, "How is the sect's preparation going?" Qingxue looked worried and said, "Senior brother, I'm really not sure if I'll make it to the top 3. Although Qingxue admits to being well prepared, there are days outside the world and people outside the world. Perhaps someone is even more well prepared than her." Qingfeng touched Qingxue's head and said gently, "Don't worry about the big competition. Just do your best. If you really can't win, give up. I will plead with my master not to reduce your cultivation resources." "Thank you, senior brother. I will do my best," Qingxue said with a heavy expression on her face. Qingxue is very conflicted. On the one hand, she believes that wood is beautiful in the forest, and the wind will destroy it. Any behavior that makes a name for itself will bring danger, so she does not want to enter the top 3. On the other hand, she knew that the immortal way had to compete for resources and opportunities in order to become stronger faster. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. This person is so weak. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. This person is so weak. No matter how harmless ants are, they may be trampled to death by various animals for no reason. Being weak cannot make oneself safe, only being strong can do it. Of course, whether Qingxue wants to make it to the top 3 or not, she really doesn't have confidence in herself and thinks it's difficult to make it. In Qingxue's perception, everyone has a protagonist aura and can turn the tide against the wind to win the weak over the strong. And she is often outnumbered by others. Qingfeng took Qingxue to the observation platform of Xiaotian's sect. The observation platform is a large platform, and any major sect activities of the Xiaotian sect will be held on the observation platform. The ground of the rooftop is paved with blue stones, which have intricate patterns. If you look closely, you will find that the bluestone has no gaps and is a huge bluestone slab. From the air, one can see a huge lotus pattern on the rooftop. The lotus has 12 petals, and a circular platform rises in the middle of each petal. There are many people on the rooftop now. Chen Qingjing and Yang Qinglu had already arrived at the observation platform, and when they saw Qingfeng and Qingxue coming, they waved and said, "Senior brother, junior sister, here." Qingfeng brought Qingxue to Yang Qingluo's side, and as soon as they stabilized their steps, someone walked over. These people are all the disciples of the 7 great peaks, who have been polite to each other, and some have noticed Qingxue. Is this the little junior sister of Tianshu Peak? Qingxue spends most of her time staying at Tianshu Peak, and not many people have seen her. Qingxue nodded lightly. The person said, "Sister Lu has a strong spiritual energy. You can tell at a glance that she has extraordinary talent. This competition will definitely shine brightly." This person was praising Qingxue on the lips, but he thought to himself, "So well behaved and quiet, he must not be good at fighting." This time, there is no need to worry about Tianshu peak in the competition. Not only this person, but no one present is optimistic about Lu Qingxue. There are 12 high platforms in the middle of the observation platform, and in the center of the platform, which is also the center of the lotus pattern, there is a small platform that serves as the registration and drawing place for the sect's grand competition. Lu Qingfeng and Lu Qingxue signed up for the lottery. The words on the bamboo stick are noon, 6. There are 12 arena on the observation platform, named after the 12 earthly branches. Wu is the arena where the duel is located, and Lu is the order of the duel sessions. In the preliminary round of the Zhongmen Grand Prix, each person competes in 10 matches. Winning 8 matches will enter the semi-finals, while losing more than 2 matches will result in elimination. Lu Qingxue, holding a bamboo stick, nervously walked to the edge of the noon ring. The people waiting under the arena, some were as nervous and solemn as Lu Qingxue, while others were full of energy and eager to try. The first competition was between 2 external disciples, one in the later stage of Qi cultivation and the other at the peak of Qi cultivation. The disciple in the later stage of Qi cultivation had an unpleasant expression and felt unlucky. In the first match, he encountered an opponent with higher cultivation than himself. Fortunately, there are 2 chances of failure in the preliminary round, and even if you lose this game, you still have a chance to enter the semi-finals. I don't believe my luck is so bad that I will always encounter opponents who are at the peak of Qi cultivation. There are not many combat methods for cultivators during the Qi cultivation period, and small spells consume a lot of spiritual power and take a long time to cast. They are not practical in 1.1 arena battles. The 2 Qi training disciples on the arena mainly hold spiritual swords and stab each other, looking like ordinary martial artists. The only difference is that their swords have spiritual power, and their killing power is greater than that of ordinary martial artists. In the first match, there were no surprises, and the disciple who was at the peak of Qi cultivation won. In the second scene, there were still 2 disciples from outside. There are more external disciples than internal disciples, and many of them were external disciples during the preliminary round. Both of them are in the late stage of Qi cultivation, and neither side wants to give up. They fought fiercely. If external disciples perform well in the sect competition, they may be favored by the sect's Jindan immortal and accepted as disciples to enter the inner sect. The inner disciples have abundant cultivation resources and a good cultivation environment. Basically, the wish of every outer disciple is to enter the inner sect. In the 5th scene, an inner disciple appeared. This inner disciple's spirit sword is of medium quality and also uses a medium defense talisman. The onlookers looked at the dim light emitted by the medium defense talisman and were envious. Talismans, this is a luxury item. A low-level talisman requires 3 spirit stones, let alone a medium talisman. Many people dare not even ask for its price. Talismans are expensive, but they are still consumables that can be used up once. Many people buy talismans to protect their lives, and not many are willing to use them in sect competitions. Inner disciples are in the middle stage of Qi cultivation, while outer disciples are in the later stage of Qi cultivation. Although the external disciples have an advantage in cultivation, the internal disciples have a high level of spiritual sword and also have talisman defense, so the internal disciples have won. This is money, oh no, the power of spirit stones. The inner disciple walked off the arena amidst the envy, jealousy, and hatred of the crowd. It was Lu Qingxue's turn, and she silently walked onto the arena. The onlookers were a bit disheartened, feeling that the upcoming battle was not worth watching. The strength gap is too large, it will definitely end soon. Lu Qingxue's weak temperament is too strong, so strong that anyone has the confidence to defeat her. As for Lu Qingxue wearing the attire of an inner disciple. There are also weak and poor disciples in the inner sect. Judging from Lu Qingxue's timid appearance, it seems that she is not doing well in the inner circle. How could Lu Qingxue's peak of Qi cultivation be so underestimated by others? I forgot to say, Qingxue is so cowardly. Oh, no, he is such a cautious person. How could anyone directly see through his cultivation? The restraint technique practiced by Qingxue has been completed to a small extent, and only cultivators who are 2 levels higher than her can see through her cultivation. In the perception of these qi training disciples, Qingxue's breath is similar to that of ordinary people. Of course, they don't really think that Qingxue is an ordinary person, but it doesn't feel strong. Even if a master hides his strength, he can still make people feel extraordinary. And Qingxue's timid appearance is definitely not a master. People believe that Qingxue's hidden cultivation is to deceive and scare off her opponents. But how could it be? Everyone has seen the world before, like Qingxue, one can tell at a glance that she is not powerful. Qingxue's opponent walked onto the arena with a spirited expression, as if they had already won. Zhang Qing, come on. Someone cheered Zhang Qing under the arena. Zhang Qing is an outer disciple. In order to enter the inner sect, he works very hard, cultivates diligently, and actively completes sect tasks. He has already gained some fame outside. It is said that there are already Jindan immortals from the inner sect who are optimistic about him and promise to take him as their disciple as long as he reaches the final in this sect competition. Zhang Qing is in a good mood now. He thinks he has good luck. In the first game of the preliminary round, he encountered such a weak opponent, so there is no need to waste his spiritual power or expose his cards. In this way, his chances of reaching the final are even greater. Zhang Qing looked at Qingxue's nervous expression and said with great grace, "Junior sister, you are definitely not my opponent. I suggest you keep your strength and play the next game, give up." Qingxue really wants to give up. To be precise, she doesn't want to enter the arena. But if she really dares to give up like this, her master will definitely not spare her. Qingxue shook her head. Zhang Qing was not angry because Qingxue refused to give up. After all, it didn't take much spiritual power to defeat Qingxue, so it didn't matter. He made Qingxue admit defeat, which was really good for her. He wanted Qingxue to avoid being beaten or injured. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Waste from external sources. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Waste from external sources. The protective light shield on the arena appears, and at this time, hands-on actions will not damage the environment or accidentally harm the audience, which is a signal of the start of the competition. Zhang Qing took out a medium-grade spirit sword. That's right, medium grade. Although Zhang Qing is an outsider disciple, he uses a medium-grade spirit sword. The mid-level spiritual sword of the inner disciples was given by the sect, while Zhang Qing's mid-level spiritual sword was earned by himself and bought by accumulating spiritual stones for sect tasks. Under the arena, there were many voices of envy and admiration. Zhang Qing flaunted his spirit sword as he landed on Qingxue. Even for inner disciples, not everyone has a mid-level spirit sword. Qingxue didn't pay attention to the mid-level spiritual sword in Zhang Qing's hand. She just felt that Zhang Qing's momentum was very strong. At first glance, he was the kind of expert who had experienced countless battles and could fight more advanced, defeating the strong with the weak. So, despite Qingxue's higher cultivation and better weapons than Zhang Qing, she still lacks confidence. Well, Zhang Qing is in the late stage of qi cultivation, and Qingxue is at the peak of qi cultivation. Zhang Qing raised his spirit sword and was about to attack. What is the situation? Why is Qingxue shining? It truly shines, not metaphorically described. Qingxue seemed to be covered in a golden veil, which fitted her body curves and wrapped her from head to toe. If you look closely, you will find that the golden gauze has 3 layers. When Qingxue appeared on the protective cover of the arena, she quickly pasted 3 high-level defense symbols on her body. Unfortunately, her movements were too fast, and even these qi training disciples couldn't see clearly. It felt like Lu Qingxue suddenly lit up. Zhang Qing suddenly had a bad premonition. During the battle, confidence and momentum were very important. Zhang Qing didn't let himself think too much and thrust his sword towards Lu Qingxue. The spirit sword pierced on Lu Qingxue's golden light shield, blocked by the light shield and unable to penetrate inch by inch. Lu Qingxue looked at the spiritual sword stabbed on the light shield and secretly felt grateful for her foresight, so she used a defense talisman at the beginning. Lu Qingxue believes that her only advantage is having self-awareness and knowing how weak she is. Look at how slow your reaction is now. At the beginning, you were stabbed by the opponent's spirit sword. If you didn't use the defense talisman, you would be dead now. However, Lu Qingxue's master, Lu Qingxue, does not think so. The body refining technique, 9 forgings of the golden body, practiced by Lu Qingxue has now been forged twice. The spiritual sword of the Qi cultivator stabbed at her body has similar effects as stabbing at the defense light shield, and she will still not be injured. Zhang Qing didn't believe in evil and stabbed a few more swords. The defense light shield remains motionless like a mountain. Someone understood and said sourly, "It's a high-level defense talisman." What a luxury. It's just a preliminary round. Lu Qingxue didn't have the heart to listen to people's sour words. Zhang Qing's spiritual sword stabbed him, and Lu Qingxue felt that the 3 high-level defense symbols were not safe, so she took out 3 high-level defense symbols and pasted them on her body. When Lu Qingxue used defense symbols before, everyone didn't pay attention and didn't know that Lu Qingxue used 3 high-level defense symbols at once. Now everyone has a clear view this time. 3 pictures. Lu Qingxue used 3 advanced defense symbols at once. This is too luxurious, isn't it? Waste. This is a great waste of sect resources. What a waste. I went out on a mission and brought a medium defense talisman to save my life. When faced with danger, I would rather get injured than use this medium defense talisman. Now. Needless to say, Lu Qingxue's use of high-level talismans in a non-life-threatening sect competition, as well as in a preliminary competition where there was still a chance of defeat, really made these disciples who were reluctant to use low-level talismans uncomfortable. The wine and meat in Zhumen smell bad, and there are frozen bones on the road. The onlookers inexplicably began to hate the rich. Brother Zhang, come on. Zhang Qing, we support you. Defeat her. These people shouted, cheering for Zhang Qing. I hope that Zhang Qing, representing the humble family, can defeat Lu Qingxue, representing the wealthy. It is difficult for people to notice the movements around them when they are nervous and focused. Although Lu Qingxue's use of talismans has already angered the public, she did not notice it on the arena. Lu Qingxue felt that Zhang Qing's sword moves were very sharp and likely to break through her defense in one fell swoop, so she posted 3 higher defense symbols. Others were already gritting their teeth as they looked at Lu Qingxue. If it weren't in the sect, they would definitely rush forward, kill Lu Qingxue, and steal her talisman. Zhang Qing was speechless. He didn't break even 1 layer of defense light shield, and Lu Qingxue added 3 more layers. How can he fight now? Zhang Qing also has advanced talismans. In order to enter the finals, Zhang Qinghua bought several high-level talismans at a high cost. But Zhang Qing couldn't bear to use it. This was just the preliminary round, and there were 2 chances of failure. Zhang Qing's advanced talisman should be used in more critical moments. More importantly, Zhang Qing seemed to be planning to use talismans when he saw Lu Qingxue's appearance. At first glance, Lu Qingxue was someone who didn't lack spirit stones. If Zhang Qing smashed talismans at each other, he would definitely not be able to defeat Lu Qingxue. The situation is deadlocked, and Zhang Qing cannot break through Lu Qingxue's defense. Lu Qingxue seems to have no means of attack, but she can't help but Zhang Qing. Zhang Qing saw that Lu Qingxue was holding 3 talismans in her hand, ready to stick them on her body at any time, so she simply gave up. Anyway, he can't win even if it keeps going on. There is a time limit for sect competitions, and in half an hour, there will be a Jindan immortal judging the winner or loser based on the situation of the arena. Qingxue's defense is too strong, and there is a high probability that she will be judged victorious. Qingxue's waste of talismans has been criticized by others, only Qingfeng approves. Qingfeng thinks that his junior sister has done a good job, and protecting herself is always the top priority no matter when. Qingxue fought with people for the first time, and Qingfeng was not at ease. He had been paying attention to this place with his divine sense, so he knew about Qingxue's situation on the arena. The strong in the cultivation world are respected, and generally speaking, the winner will enjoy flowers and applause, earning the admiration of everyone. However, Qingxue won, and not only did everyone not admire her for it, but they were also very contemptuous and hostile. Everyone thinks that Qingxue wastes talismans. She herself has no combat power and is a waste who only relies on external objects. After Qingxue won, she saw the strange looks in everyone's eyes and thought that these people were all coveting her talismans. She immediately put the useless talismans in her storage bag and said, "These talismans were borrowed from my master to participate in the sect competition, and the rest will be returned to my master. Don't try to steal them. My master is a great cultivator of yuanying, so don't act recklessly." Qingxue really overthought it. Although the cultivation world is chaotic, the Xiaotian sect is still relatively safe, and no one dares to rob within the sect. Someone below the arena heard from Qingxue that her master was a great cultivator of yuanying. They reacted and said, "This is the personal disciple of the heavenly Shu Peak Master. Fengzhu personally passed it on. No wonder it's so luxurious." Someone whispered sourly, "Even if it's personally passed down by the Peak Master, it's too wasteful." No matter what others think, Qingxue won a game anyway. Qingxue's advanced talisman protects her body, causing headaches for all opponents who encounter her. In addition, there are 2 chances of failure in the preliminary round, so all those who encounter Qingxue simply give up. So, Qingxue won 8 consecutive games and entered the semi-finals. End of this chapter. Chapter 5. See how she continues. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 6. It's impossible for someone to succeed in drawing runes on the arena. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. It's impossible for someone to successfully draw a rune on the arena. Talismans are completely external objects that can be used with just a little spiritual power. As long as there are enough talismans, even those who do not know how to fight may win the peak of chi training that has been experienced in countless battles in the early stages. If there were no restrictions on talismans, those poor disciples who worked hard and had good swordsmanship would never have a bright future. Therefore, when they saw Qingxue's talismans being used several times as if they didn't want spirit stones, others instinctively felt disgusted. Qingxue felt the hostility of the crowd towards her and tightly grasped the defensive talisman in her hand. After the competition began, she must stick the defense talisman on her body as quickly as possible. Qingxue has read the script, and some people will take advantage of the opponent's unpreparedness to attack and seriously injure them. Jin Shichang appears to be the kind of person with a dark heart and ruthless hands, so he must be careful. The protective light shield of the arena had just risen when a golden light shield appeared on Qingxue's body. Not to mention that, 3 lighter-colored masks and 10 lighter-colored masks appeared later. Jin Shichang's face was ugly. Qingxue is really good. She can use as many talismans as she can, even if it's limited. During the preliminary round, Qingxue used only high-level talismans and never used medium or low-level talismans. Jin Shichang thought that just dealing with a high-level defense talisman was enough, but he didn't expect there to be so many medium and low-level talismans. But it's okay, although it's troublesome, it's not impossible to deal with. Medium and low-level defense symbols are easier to break than high-level defense symbols. When there were no restrictions on talismans, Qingxue naturally wanted to use the most effective high-level talismans. Now that there are restrictions on talismans, although the effects of medium and low-level talismans are slightly worse, they are always stronger than none. The audience below the arena saw the layers of light masks on Qingxue's body, and their eyes turned red, cursing him fiercely for being a black sheep. Some people even say that the defense light shield is a turtle shell, while Qingxue is a shrunken turtle. The defense light shield of the defense talisman can be large or small. When the light shield is large, spiritual power consumption is fast and the duration is short. When the light mask is small, spiritual power consumption is slow and lasts for a long time. During the preliminary rounds, Qingxue kept her defense light shield to a minimum and pressed it tightly against her body, as if wearing a layer of golden gauze. The current defense light shield is elliptical in shape and covers Qingxue. Qingxue has some room for movement inside the defense light shield. For the changes in Qingxue's defense light shield, others didn't think much. They all thought that Qingxue was even more timid and wanted to stay away from the attack. After all, using defense symbols may not actually hurt, but attacking tightly against one's own body may not feel psychologically safe enough. Just as everyone was waiting for Jin Shicheng to break through the defense light shield and knock Qingxue off the arena. Qingxue took out a pen, a box of cinnabar, and a stack of yellow paper. Jin Shicheng suddenly had a very bad premonition. What is she doing with these things now that we are having a fight? The audience under the arena couldn't believe it. Could it be what they thought? The Yuanian cultivator, who paid close attention to Bai with his divine sense, suddenly realized that no wonder Qingxue so easily agreed to the restriction of talismans and even changed the restriction on use to a restriction on carrying. However, drawing talismans is difficult. Even in a stable and peaceful environment, drawing talismans has a high failure rate. When drawing on the arena, there is pressure from opponents and interference from the audience. How many pieces can be successfully drawn? Perhaps before Qingxue could successfully draw a talisman, the defense light shield was broken, and it would directly fail. Although Qingxue may be a master of talismans, the outcome of this battle is still not well received by everyone. Drawing talismans on the arena is too difficult, and it is almost impossible to draw high-level talismans in a noisy environment. Lower-level talismans have limited effects, and failure to draw them can also waste spiritual power. Of course, although everyone still doesn't have much confidence in the outcome of Qingxue's duel, they have gained some understanding of her previous use of talismans to deceive others, and they are not so averse. If the talismans used by Qingxue in the competition were all drawn by her own, then she would not rely on external objects to fight with talismans. Although having a background in a school is also a statement of strength, people still don't like people who rely entirely on external resources. If one has a unique skill, even if relying on external resources, others can still accept it. Qingxue used her spiritual power to hold the rune paper and cinnabar in the air, and lightly tapped the cinnabar with her pen. The onlookers were stunned one by one. No one really draws symbols like this, right? They set up the tables and chairs, but couldn't draw a talisman in a quiet and comfortable environment. Qingxue used her spiritual power to hold the talisman paper on the arena. Can she draw it well? No matter what others think, when Qingxue picked up the talisman, her expression became focused and serious. The timid and weak temperament on his body has dissipated. The talisman paper was spread vertically in front of Qingxue, at the same level as her line of sight, which was the most convenient posture for drawing talismans in the current situation. Qingxue picked up her pen, her tender green sleeve swaying gently with her white wrist. The bright red cinnabar fell on the yellow rune paper, and the delicate hands, as white as jade, held the rune pen and walked upstream of the rune paper, leaving mysterious and smooth runes on the paper. The onlookers unanimously thought to themselves. Whether or not this talisman can succeed, the posture of Qingxue's talisman is truly pleasing to the eye. Flowing clouds and flowing water, with a carefree and composed style, it looks really comfortable. It was only then that everyone noticed that Qingxue was very beautiful, with bright eyes and white teeth, and was as beautiful as a fairy in the heavenly palace. Even Jin Shichang temporarily forgot to attack because he saw Qingxue's talisman. The spiritual power of Qingxue flows through the rune pen, immerses it in cinnabar, and evenly injects it into the rune. The vermilion rune's divine power is introverted, full of mysterious and powerful aura. Picking up the pen, the talisman was completed, and the purple and golden light flashed across the talisman. High-level talismans. The crowd below the arena exclaimed in unison. Talismans have levels and qualities, which are similar to the cultivation level of a cultivator. They are divided into Qi cultivation, foundation building, golden elixir, and yuanying runes of different levels are different. Talismans of the same grade can be classified into low, medium, and high qualities. From the objective conditions of runes, rune paper, and rune pens, different qualities of runes are actually the same. The same rune pen draws the same rune on the same rune paper, but the resulting rune quality level is different. There are 3 key points to drawing talismans. 1. Smooth and accurate drawing and writing. Just like writing with a brush, one needs to learn how to use a pen, memorize runes, and be able to draw smoothly. 2. The spiritual power is easily controlled. To draw talismans, it is necessary to evenly and orderly inject spiritual power into the runes, and only when the spiritual power is controlled freely can the talismans be successfully drawn. 3. Understand runes. The deeper the understanding of runes, the higher the quality of the drawn runes, and the higher the success rate of drawing runes. The first 2 points may be difficult, but they can be compensated for by diligence. The third point requires innate intelligence. Many people who want to become talismans are discouraged by the third point. After successfully drawing talismans, there will be a sparkling light, with a hint of purple in the shimmering gold of higher talismans. The medium talisman has a shimmering golden color with a hint of blue, the shimmering gold of the lower talisman has a hint of green. Some people don't want to believe that Qingxue has truly successfully drawn high-level talismans on the arena, murmuring to themselves, I must have misread it, it's the blue and gold radiance. New books for collection, recommendation, and review. Thank you, everyone. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Genius Talisman. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. Genius Talisman. A person who is also unwilling to believe the truth said, blue gold and purple gold are very similar, it's normal to misread them. Someone said solemnly, it should be a medium talisman. No matter what the people under the arena thought or said, Qingxue immediately pasted the newly completed talisman onto her body. Jin Shichang looked at the newly added golden light mask on Qingxue's body and couldn't help but say, luck, she must be lucky to have drawn a high-level talisman. The people under the arena, upon hearing Jin Shichang's words, turned to the person who said he was a medium talisman. The person coughed awkwardly, then their eyes lit up and pointed to the arena, saying, she's starting to draw symbols again. After sticking the newly drawn talisman onto her body, Qingxue dipped her pen in cinnabar and began drawing the next talisman. Under the arena, there was a person who said, well, I heard that after a talisman master finishes drawing a talisman, they have to rest and adjust before they can draw another talisman. I don't know if it's true. Someone looked ashamed and said, I have only learned how to draw talismans before. After drawing a talisman, I really need to rest and adjust, otherwise my spiritual power will surge and the talisman will easily fail. So this person wants to say why Qingxue doesn't rest. She may be in a hurry because she's on the arena. However, this kind of drawing can easily fail. Many people who are familiar with drawing symbols in the arena nodded in recognition. However, no matter how the audience below the arena looked down upon it, Lu Qingxue's movements in the talisman continued to flow smoothly and with ease and ease. Quickly, Lu Qingxue picked up her pen and wrote a talisman, with a purple and golden shimmer passing by. The people under the arena couldn't believe it. Did this become a symbol? It seems to be a high-level talisman. Is the success rate of advanced talismans so high? Compared to alchemy, in alchemy, the threshold for drawing symbols is relatively low. Because the price of rune paper and cinnabar is much cheaper than that of spiritual medicine and refining materials. Most cultivators will try to learn how to draw talismans. Although limited by talent, there are few people who can become talismans. There are many who are familiar with talisman drawing. The more they understand talisman drawing, the less they can understand Lu Qingxue. Lu Qingxue was simply rubbing their knowledge of drawing symbols against the ground. Drawing talismans requires a quiet environment, and Lu Qingxue draws talismans on the noisy arena. Drawing talismans requires rest and adjustment. Lu Qingxue drew talismans one after another without stopping. High-level talismans can be encountered but not sought, and Lu Qingxue drew 2 consecutive pieces. No, there are already 3 now, and Lu Qingxue is still continuing. Jin Shichang did not continue to look at Lu Qingxue's talisman, and crazily output against Lu Qingxue's defense light shield. Anyway, Lu Qingxue only knows how to defend. Jin Shichang doesn't need to worry about Lu Qingxue's attack, he doesn't need to defend. Hard work pays off, and under the strong attack of Jin Shichang, Lu Qingxue's defense light shield was broken one after another. Lu Qingxue looked at the shattered defense light shield and the scattered golden light, feeling anxious in her heart. We need to go faster. If the speed at which one draws symbols cannot match the speed at which Jin Shichang breaks them, then one is in danger. The people under the arena don't know how to describe their current mood, and the common sense of drawing symbols they learned before seems to be fake. Even if Lu Qingxue doesn't rest and adjust after drawing the talisman, her speed is getting faster and faster. Forget it, every talisman has succeeded. Even if every talisman is successful, it's not worth it. Surprisingly, they are all high-level talismans. Under the arena, there was a person who said, I have been studying drawing talismans for 10 years, and now I can steadily draw medium talismans. Occasionally, I can draw a few high-level talismans. I thought I was already talented, but now I realize, sigh. Someone next to me heard this and silently said, I won't tell you that after studying for over a decade, I can only draw low-level talismans, and the success rate is still very low. Genius few master. Someone's heartfelt admiration. Lu Qingxue's clean and dusty face still carries a hint of greenness and childishness, indicating that she is not very old at first glance. Even if one has been learning to draw talismans since childhood, being able to draw so many high-level talismans is still a genius. Jin Shichang's attack was as fierce as a tiger, breaking through more than 10 layers of defense light shields of Lu Qingxue. Just wanted to take a break and catch his breath, but what did he see? Lu Qingxue also has nearly 10 layers of defense light shields on her body, and the golden light of these defense light shields is richer than those broken by Jin Shichang. Jin Shichang put in so much effort and consumed most of his spiritual power to break the defense light shield of medium and low-level defense symbols. Someone noticed something and said, her defense talisman seems to be stronger than the others. The effect of runes of the same grade and quality is not the same. It is normal for personal handmade items to have a slight difference. It can only be said that the effects of talismans of the same grade and quality are within the same range, and the difference is very small. It's slightly stronger. A natural talisman. With this skill in drawing talismans, even if junior sister Lu doesn't know how to fight, the sect will still treat her as a treasure. Many people nodded in agreement. Some people can recognize the excellence of others, while others cannot. She has only used defense symbols since the semi-finals, and it is likely that she only knows how to draw defense symbols. If she only practices one type of symbol, being able to draw high-level symbols is not a big deal. Others silently distanced themselves from this person upon hearing these words. When learning to draw runes, in order to produce results as soon as possible, at the beginning, we basically only learn and practice one type of rune. People with talent can quickly draw finished runes by practicing only one type of rune, while practicing multiple runes at the same time often takes a long time and cannot draw a single rune. Both rune paper and cinnabar are costs. If you keep wasting rune paper and cinnabar, you won't be able to draw a rune, and both your storage bag and mindset are prone to collapse. After the finished runes can be stably drawn, some people will learn and practice other runes, while others will still only practice one type of rune. Some people pursue variety, while others pursue quality, regardless of which choice is normal. Practicing only one type of rune can indeed improve the success rate of drawing runes and the quality of finished runes. However, to achieve the level of success in every piece and high-level runes like Qingxue, it is definitely not enough to practice only one type of rune. Even if Qingxue only knows how to draw defensive talismans, being able to zhang is still a high-level talisman, which is impressive. Many talismans can draw medium talismans, but if you want to draw high talismans, you need luck. Occasionally drawing a high-level talisman can make them happy for a long time. Qingxue saw the speed of Qingxue's talisman and knew that it would be even harder for him to win if he dragged it any further. Without hesitation, he used his strongest attack. The incredibly powerful sword hit Qingxue's defense light shield, which flickered and seemed to be about to be broken, but he persisted stubbornly. Qingxue gritted his teeth and increased his spiritual power output. The defense light shield of the high-level talisman was shattered by Qingxue's sword, and the shattered golden light shield fragments scattered, dazzling and beautiful. Qingxue had a pleasant feeling of finally taking a breath. What about the advanced defense symbol? It was not broken by his one strike. Please collect, recommend, and comment. Thank you. Star. Degree C, V, end of this chapter. Chapter 8. I want to change back to small transparency. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 9. Zhao Xiaotian. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Zhao Xiaotian. Our cultivators compete with heaven for their lives, and we should move forward courageously. Although she has a great talent for drawing symbols, I don't like her. Many people nodded in agreement. Qingxue is very nervous now and has no intention of paying attention to the discussions under the arena. If she knew that others said she was pretending to be weak, she would definitely shout wrongly. She has no practical experience in combat. Even though she is really weak, how can she be said to be pretending? The young man in blue jumped onto the arena with a somersault, and his robe flipped over, creating an indescribable and elegant atmosphere. In every move and gesture, there is both the confidence and nobility of a noble young master, as well as the unrestrained and heroic spirit of a swordsman and warrior. How handsome! Under the arena, a female cultivator couldn't help but exclaim softly. The young man rushed to land on Qingxue and smiled heartily. With one arm raised, he saluted his peers to Qingxue and said, "I've seen senior sister Lu." Qingxue quickly bowed back and said, "Senior sister, I dare not be mistaken. I have met senior brother Zhao." Qingxue has read Zhao Xiaotian's information and knows that Zhao Xiaotian's strength is not weak, and it is also personally passed down by the peak master. She dare not entrust it to others. In the cultivation sect, if it is the same master or a close master uncle or uncle, the order of seniority is based on the order of entry. If there is no close relationship between teachers and students, then seniority is judged based on cultivation and strength. Those of the same great realm are considered as peers, and those with high cultivation are considered as elders. For example, disciples in the early stage of qi cultivation should call those in the middle stage as senior brothers. When facing fellow cultivators in a higher realm, one should be considered elders. For example, a disciple during the Qi cultivation period should call him the senior uncle during the foundation building period. Those with identical cultivation levels can be divided into seniors and juniors based on their strength, or they can be called senior sister and senior brother, like Lu Qingxue and Zhao Xiaotian. Of course, Lu Qingxue practiced the technique of restraining breathing. Zhao Xiaotian didn't know that Lu Qingxue was also at the peak of Qi cultivation. Zhao Xiaotian called Lu Qingxue senior sister to admire her ability to draw talismans. On the arena, Zhang and Zhang are all highly skilled in drawing talismans. Lu Qingxue's talent for drawing talismans can be said to be unprecedented, and it is unknown whether there will be anyone in the future. It is estimated that even if there is one, it will be rare. Zhao Xiaotian said sincerely, senior sister Lu is too modest. With her ability to draw talismans, she can live up to the title of senior sister. Senior brother Zhao, you're welcome. Senior brother Zhao has excellent swordsmanship, which is truly impressive. Lu Qingxue awkwardly treated Zhao Xiaotian politely. She has been practicing at Tianshu Peak and is not very good at dealing with people. And Lu Qingxue didn't forget that now it's on the arena, and the two of them have to fight to determine the winner. A person like Lu Qingxue, who is so vigilant, wouldn't relax just by saying a few polite words just because the other person is handsome. Senior brother once said that beautiful mushrooms are poisonous, and the more beautiful people are, the more dangerous they are. Lu Qingxue tightly grasped the talisman, with a wary yet polite expression on her beautiful face. On the one hand, Lu Qingxue was worried that she might not be polite enough to offend Zhao Xiaotian, and was resented by Zhao Xiaotian. Afterwards, she retaliated against herself and forced herself to be polite to Zhao Xiaotian. On the one hand, he was also worried that Zhao Xiaotian would ambush her in order to win and seriously injure her, and his heart was very anxious and uneasy. Fortunately, the protective light shield on the arena finally lit up, and the competition officially began. Lu Qingxue no longer had to worry and worry. Lu Qingxue instantly attached a defense talisman to her body, and layers of defense light shields protected her. But these defense light shields did not bring much sense of security to Lu Qingxue, and Zhao Xiaotian also took out more than 10 talismans in his hand. Zhao Xiaotian said with some embarrassment, "Senior sister Lu, I have offended you." Before he could finish speaking, Zhao Xiaotian urged all the talismans. All of them are attack symbols. 14 sharp golden rays, like spiritual swords controlled by cultivators, swiftly thrust towards Lu Qingxue. One of the golden rays is particularly striking and is a high-level talisman. The quality and quantity of talismans used by Zhao Xiaotian are the same as the quality and quantity of talismans restricted by the sect. The scene of more than 10 talismans attacking at the same time was very dazzling, and the emotions of the people in the arena were ignited, even more excited than participating in the competition. There are battles in which both sides of the sect use talismans, but they only use a few fewer, like those like Lu Qingxue and Zhao Xiaotian who use more than 10 at a time. Lu Qingxue has too many talismans and draws them too quickly. Even ordinary wealthy people know that smashing talismans cannot defeat Lu Qingxue, so they don't waste it at all. They don't need talismans to deal with Lu Qingxue. Zhao Xiaotian was the first person to use talismans to deal with Lu Qingxue. Many potential champions have studied how to defeat Lu Qingxue. Although Lu Qingxue doesn't know how to fight, the draw is too fast and really difficult to deal with. Their conclusion was to break Lu Qingxue's defense from the beginning, leaving him no time to draw more talismans. But Qi cultivators have limited means, and it is not easy to quickly break through Lu Qingxue's defense. Defeating talismans with talismans was the only way they came up with to quickly break through Lu Qingxue's defense. The light shield of the defense symbol is difficult to break, so use the attack symbol to break it. Why didn't anyone use talismans to deal with Lu Qingxue during the preliminary and final rounds? Because everyone understands the reasons, the disciples of the seven great peaks rarely meet each other before the finals. Qingxue has never encountered an opponent who can afford to buy high-level talismans. Before, Qingxue met the disciple Jin Shichang, who was personally passed down by the peak master, because Jin Shichang believed that after restricting the carrying of talismans, Qingxue was easy to deal with and deliberately arranged it. And Qingxue knew about Qingxue's abilities, so he did not oppose this arrangement. The attack talisman is fast, powerful, and does not consume one's own spiritual power. After using the talisman, combined with one's own attack, it should be able to break Qingxue's defense light shield in one fell swoop. Although Xiaotian speaks politely, he is not polite at all when he takes action. When he swung out the attack talisman, he drew his spirit sword and used a powerful sword move. The sharpness of the top-grade spirit sword is getting stronger and stronger, as if it can break through clouds and rocks at any time. Qingxue was already shocked when she saw the attack symbol. She took out the rune as quickly as possible. The talisman paper also quickly flew to the appropriate position when Qingxue took out the talisman pen. A little cinnabar flew to the tip of the talisman as Qingxue took it out. Shake with bare hands and draw quickly. The defense light shield layer by layer shattered, causing Qingxue to feel anxious. The speed of the talisman became faster and faster. The people under the arena also became nervous, staring intently at the arena. Who will win the battle between advanced attack symbols and advanced defense symbols? Will Qingxue's inexplicable combat style be broken? Will the perverted Qingxue, who has a fast drawing speed, stop here? Everyone can't tell what their current mood is. Qingxue's talisman talent and combat style make people feel hopeless, jealous, and powerless. Although Qingxue is very strong, she always behaves weakly, making people feel very pretentious and eager to see her defeated and pulled down from the altar. What if the talisman is powerful? I haven't lost yet. Fu masters should silently draw talismans and make a name for themselves on the arena. Fu masters can all fight now. What are we, those who practice swordsmanship, doing? However, when Qingxue could really fail, everyone felt inexplicably regretful. Seeing so many battles of swords, punches, and kicks, such an anomaly drawing symbols on the arena is a unique scenery, and I don't want it to disappear. The light shields of the low-level defense symbols have all been shattered, and the medium ones have also been shattered. The light shield of the advanced defense talisman has also been slightly dimmed. Seeking favorites, recommendations, and comments n, * greater than or equal to less than or equal to * n, end of this chapter. Chapter 10. The Emotionless Drawing Machine. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. The Emotionless Drawing Machine. Fortunately, all the power of the attack talismans has been exhausted. Simply using talismans for talismans, Qingxue's defense talismans have blocked these attack talismans. However, the battle was not over yet, and Xiaotian's sword moves had already accumulated their strength. The sharp sword pierced at Qingxue. The top-grade spirit sword, combined with Xiaotian's peak cultivation in Qi cultivation, has a strong power. Someone has already closed their eyes under the arena. Qingxue's current defense light shield is definitely unable to block this sword. Regretful voices kept emerging. Someone still stared at the arena and saw a purple and golden glow in Qingxue's pen, exclaiming, "The talisman has been completed." At the critical moment, Qingxue's speed in drawing talismans exceeded her own limit and reached a new high. But Xiaotian's sword has already arrived. Can Qingxue win? It feels like a long time has passed, but in reality, it has only been a few seconds since the start of the game. Qingxue's drawing speed is too fast, and everyone knows that dealing with Qingxue requires quick combat and quick decision-making. Xiaotian dared not delay for a second and used all his attack methods from the beginning. What we need is a wave of attacks to defeat Qingxue. However, Xiaotian didn't seem to be fast enough to make Qingxue draw a talisman. On the arena, the golden light scattered. The defense light shield that consumed most of the spiritual power of the attack talisman has been broken. But Xiaotian did not win. The new defense light shield protected Qingxue, shining with golden light. Qingxue is going to win. Someone below the arena spoke in a strange tone. When these people saw that Qingxue was about to fail, they all felt regretful and didn't want her unique scenery to stop here. They hoped that Qingxue, a rare genius talisman, could once again create miracles. But when Qingxue truly created a miracle, they began to sympathize with Xiaotian again. Although it's too early to say winning or losing now, with the speed of Qingxue's talismanship, as long as he perseveres through this wave, it's basically equivalent to winning. Xiaotian looked at the golden defense light shield on Qingxue's body, showing a regretful expression. He also knew that he was afraid of losing. It's almost like that. If his sword sharpness could be faster, then the winner would be him. But reality doesn't have ifs. Qingxue's speed in drawing talismans is too fast. The time it takes to draw a talisman is similar to the time it takes for a cultivator to draw a sword. It's really difficult to break Qingxue's defense before she can successfully draw her talisman. However, Xiaotian didn't want to give up on this. He wanted to see how long it would take for him to break Qingxue's defense light shield without using an attack talisman. Xiaotian raised his sword and stabbed at Qingxue. The protective light shield on Qingxue's body couldn't bring her much sense of security. Terrifying, too terrifying. What senior brother said is indeed true. The more beautiful a person is, the more dangerous they are. How polite Xiaotian is when he speaks, how ruthless his actions are. Attack symbols and sword moves are equally deadly. If it weren't for her quick hand speed, quick drawing of symbols, and quick pasting of symbols, she would have had to explain it here today. The spirit sword has no eyes, and there is a great danger in battles. She has always been right in refusing to fight with people. Qingxue forgot that there are protective measures in the arena. When the arena detects someone being subjected to a fatal attack that cannot be resisted, it will protect that person. There is no life-threatening competition on the arena. Moreover, it remains to be seen whether Xiaotian's spiritual sword can pierce through the skin of Qingxue's two-forged body. Sketches, fast symbols. The slender bare hands were quickly shaken, and the runes were quickly outlined under the pen. Qingxue is now like an emotionless drawing machine, a mechanical, fast drawing machine. On this dangerous arena, only drawing talismans can bring her a sense of security. Xiaotian didn't defend and attacked with all his might. 1 sword, 2 swords, 3 swords. Xiaotian's swordsmanship is good, with a fast speed and strong swordsmanship. Coupled with top-grade spirit swords, he only used 5 swords to break through Qingxue's advanced defense talisman light shield. This speed is very fast, and the vast majority of Qi cultivators cannot break the light shield of high-level defense symbols so quickly. But this speed is too slow to defeat Qingxue. Qingxue now has 5 layers of defense light shields on her body. If she hadn't broken the previous layer, it would have been 6 layers. The spiritual power of cultivators during the Qi cultivation period is limited, and without high-level attack symbols, it is difficult to break so many high-level defense symbols. Moreover, Qingxue's defense talisman is still increasing. Everyone looked at Xiaotian's regretful and helpless expression, and felt very empathetic. No matter who meets Qingxue on the arena, their mood will not be good. It's not that Xiaotian is not strong enough, it's that Qingxue is too abnormal. Xiaotian stopped the attack. If we continue, we won't be able to win. He wants to chat with Qingxue. Qingxue did not stop drawing symbols just because Xiaotian stopped attacking. Zhao Xiaotian didn't give up, and the competition didn't end. Who knows if Xiaotian is holding back some big moves. The 5-layer defense light shield will definitely be broken soon. You need to constantly draw at least 10 symbols. No, 10 is not enough, at least 20 or more defense symbols are needed to walk off the arena alive. Others just don't know what Qingxue is thinking, otherwise they would definitely say, do you have any misunderstandings about high-level defense runes? The 5 high-level defense runes are really not as easy to break. Zhao Xiaotian just broke 1 layer of defense talisman, which consumed a lot of spiritual power. At most, if he broke 3 layers, Zhao Xiaotian's spiritual power would be almost depleted. The unsolvable place of talismans is here, with great power and without consuming one's own spiritual power. In fact, it is not without a solution. Although talismans have good effects, it is difficult to draw them. Whether you draw your own talismans or purchase them, the cost is not small, and most people do not have many talismans. The unsolvable one is Qingxue. The runes are unreasonable, and if they are too fast, they are not worth mentioning. They have a 100% success rate and are very impressive. How can their opponents break through this? If Fu masters were so skilled, no one would have played other professions for a long time. Zhao Xiaotian saw that Qingxue didn't stop and said, Senior Sister Lu has a strong ability to draw talismans. I am willing to bow down. Qingxue thought to herself, Zhao Xiaotian is indeed dangerous. He even interferes with me when he speaks. Although accepting defeat may mean giving up, it does not mean giving up. If you only listen to the words, admit defeat, in the arena and do not say, admit defeat, it is not considered a surrender. Qingxue has studied the records of previous sections. Someone once said on the arena, you are stronger than me. The opponent thought it was a sign of giving up, relaxed their guard, and was turned back into victory. On the arena, after confirming the surrender, a small protective light shield will appear to protect the loser. In order to prevent anyone from exploiting loopholes, Qingxue specially studied the rules of the sect's grand competition. Zhao Xiaotian didn't have a protective light shield on his body, so he didn't give up. Qingxue didn't dare to relax her guard. However, Qingxue was also afraid of offending Zhao Xiaotian and dared not ignore others. Qingxue drew a talisman while speaking, Senior Brother Zhao is really powerful. He poses a great threat to me. When fighting against Senior Brother Zhao, I dare not relax for a moment. Qingxue hesitated and said, I'll give you the Mid-Autumn Festival reunion symbols, happiness symbols, and wealth symbols. End of this chapter.